Hello there. What is going on, everybody? We have an all-new battle force for Star Wars Legion to talk about. It is Tempest Force, and this is the Imperials that were on the forest moon of Endor. You may recall Emperor Palpatine saying, "An entire legion of my finest troops awaits. Oh, I'm afraid the deflector shield will be quite operational when your friends arrive." Good, you want this, don't you? I'm going too deep into it. Tempest Force. These are the Imperials that were on Endor, and apparently some of Emperor Palpatine's finest troops. The Ewoks are coming out, and they have talked about that there would be a new Imperial Battle Force to sort of match up to them. And that's what we've got today. We've got ourselves a preview. We've got a preview article talking all about it. Plus, we have the Battle Force document itself. This is an interesting one, folks. There's definitely an interesting one, and kind of surprising to me as well. So we're going to talk about this entire Battle Force, what I think of it. A lot of command cards with this one, too. A whole new unit. Also, just crazy stuff. So we're going to talk about all that today. Real quick, a little bit of admin stuff. We are still doing that $50 Amazon gift card that is running for a couple more weeks. We're going to be announcing the winner for that at the beginning of August. So you have plenty of time left to enter to win. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. Also want to thank today's sponsor, Luxury Playstyle. You've heard me talk about them. You've seen them in my battle reports. They're amazing. Full metal tokens compatible with Star Wars Legion. You also have tokens compatible with other games like X-Wing, or damage tokens compatible with all games, or specific sets for other games like Magic the Gathering and all that other stuff. But their Legion tokens are especially awesome. They're all double-sided, shiny, gorgeous, and you're going to love them. If you use code Crabbok VIP, you're going to save 15%. Also, orders that use that code that spend $35 or more are going to get a free lightsaber nunchuck Crabbok token thrown in there. It's got the C logo on the front, lightsaber nunchucks on it. It's got the 5 on the back for the higher damage counts. So really cool, great one for marking commanders, with the C side marking damage. You can use them for lots of different games. You can mark critical hits in X-Wing. You can use light side versus dark side, because one side's blue, the other side's red. Just a super cool token. You get that for free by using that code on any qualifying order while supplies last. So those orders, get them in soon. And they make great gifts and prize support, and treat yourself a little bit. So head over to luxuryplaystyle.com and check them out. All right, so Tempest Force Battle Force preview article. So this is a whole new Battle Force. It's for the Empire. They have there's two kind of ways to run it, but I think it's primarily a vehicle focused list. Vehicles are going to gain Scout 2. You're going to remove less suppression. This is interesting. So if you get out of range of your commander and you don't have a comms upgrade equipped, you're going to remove 1 less suppression. So you might not be removing suppression very much at all unless you rally. So like, that's kind of a weird thing. Like, it's just everything's like that's also kind of a bonus for vehicles, right? And then also it has like either a special forces, basically a scout trooper or a speeder bike gets to kind of deploy later. So it's just like in the same way you had that reinforced, that rapid reinforcements condition. This is an extra like rapid reinforcements that you get specifically just for you if you play this Battle Force. And that's just some of what we're going to get in here. We're also getting some command cards unique to the Battle Force itself. We've got a Drive Them Out. We got a 1, a 2, and a 3 pip here. And these are all generic, unique to Tempest Force. The 1 pip is a vehicle. It's going to give a vehicle Demoralize 1, so you're putting out some suppression there. And then the first unit they pass through, if they displace them, and the only vehicle you can take in here is the ATST, so the Chicken Walkers. This is the Chicken Force, right? I don't know. But yes. So if basically when you displace them, you also roll dice, a white defense dice, and on every ink you get, they also take damage, and it's for every miniature in the unit. So they're really kind of an anti-Ewok or anti-B1 card right there, which is pretty cool. They also have the 2 pip. We need reinforcements. That's for 2 troopers. It's going to give you guys disengage. I think this is a card that it could be good. I'm not ever going to use that card though. I just you know, for me, this is a vehicle-based battle force. There are trooper-heavy ways to run it, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But I just don't see the strength of this battle force. I think is in the vehicles. So, yeah, this is really the only kind of trooper benefit card, and disengage isn't even really that good for them. I just don't even understand why they put that card in there. Constantly Alert is a 3 unit 3 pip, which is nice. It's a 3 pip, does 3 units, and does a little bit more. When a unit is issued an order with this card, it gains an aim token for each enemy unit at range 1. Pretty nice. If it did not gain any aim tokens, it gains a standby token. So you're giving aims and potentially standbys to 3 different units. It has to be issued an order with that card, though, so HQ uplink won't trigger it. Really nice stuff. You're also getting Major Marquand, is a unique ATST, and this is pretty interesting. Now he's got Surge to Hit. He's got like 190 points. He's got Armor Arsenal 2, which you kind of get weak point 1, which you kind of get. It's a Field Commander, and he's a special issue for Tempest Force. So you can only run him in this battle force. 11 health, 8, and then he's got white defense die, Surge for Hit built in, and he's got 3 guns. He does not have the mortar launcher on here, but he's got everything else, and so that's pretty good for 190 points. Surge to Hit built in already, and Field Commander, so pretty decent little ATST there. And one of the things that's really cool about Major Marquand is that he comes with 3 command cards. So a vehicle casting their own command cards is always pretty interesting. He's got Gunner Infantry. Major Marquand, during his activation, he reduces his speed by 1 to a minimum of 1. He gains Tactical 1, and his weapons gain Suppressive this round. Squadron on me. At the start of his activation, if this is his 2 pip, each other friendly vehicle at range 1 of him may perform a free pivot, then make a speed 1 move. Really good card for multiple ATSTs. And then Armored Cavalry. I love the AT-AT on there. I wonder if this means we're going to eventually see an AT-AT. I don't know. I mean, that'd be awesome. They should really do that someday. Just to say they did it. Why not, right? They're just doing everything else crazy. When another friendly vehicle begins its activation at range 1 of Major Marquand, it may choose one of the following effects. If it's in front of Major Marquand, it gains a dodge token. So if it's a scout, if it's scouting ahead, it gains a dodge. All right? And it can only choose one of the following. So if it's like double arced, you don't get to, you'll be able to choose, but you're not going to be able to do all of them. If it's in his side arc, they gain an aim token. If it's in his rear arc, they can do a speed 1 move, which is really cool. You can do some freaky stuff with this depending on your objective too, because he can always like turn and kind of give you the rear arc even if you're farther forward, just so that you can like move farther forward and drop a bomb, or if you're playing payload or something, or something like that. So just like you can do a lot of cool stuff with Armored Cavalry. I like that card. It's pretty cool. Yeah, and then of course they have the full Tempest rules link there, so you can see everything else. But this was the preview. This is a pretty interesting thought of mine, though, because, and I'll tell you why. Because, like a lot of people who have been playing Legion since it first came out, and was definitely interested in playing Empire amongst other factions, I did pick up 2 ATSTs when the game was brand new. Because that was definitely something to occasionally run. There weren't as many list build options in the first year of Star Wars Legion, right? Or in the first wave, rather. So, yeah, it was, that's something. So, like, they have this whole new ATST pack out right now, and I just think it's like, why would I want to buy that? I already have 2 ATSTs. Why would I want to buy this? The only thing you're getting in it is an optional little Chewbacca on top, or an optional, Imperial. Like I don't, like, it just seems like a complete waste of money to me. And then they go and release this Battle Force document that says, oh, by the way, you can run 3 heavy units in this Battle Force. I'm like, oh, of course you can. Come on, guys. So this is, I don't know what to do, because there's a part of me that really wants to run this, but there's another part of me that's like, I'm not buying another ATST. I don't have room for another ATST. Maybe I'll just borrow one from somebody else if I want to run this, or just run another base like run a snow speeder and just be like pretend as an ATST on there or something like that. I just don't, grab an ATST from Imperial Assault and put it on there or something like that. Like I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna buy another ATST just to run it like once in this build, because I just feel like running 3 ATSTs it's gonna be one of two things. It's gonna be your game is over right away because your opponent brought a big Impact and Ion list because of all of the the Imperial Dark Troopers being more common, or they don't, and you just completely kill everything and they can't even touch your stuff. So either way, I don't think it's going to be a long game, and it could be really unfun for somebody, maybe, or maybe not. I mean, like, I think it'd be fun to run 3 ATSTs, but yeah, like, I don't see it being that great, but I think it could be kind of fun for a little bit. But like, I want to try it out once, and then we'll see if it ends up being like, oh, this is the list I have to run all the time. Both of us had the best game of our lives, and this is the then maybe that'll be worth buying another ATST at that point. But all right, so what can you can run very, very, very little in this battle force. It's like the most restrictive like of anything. Like, you have no options. Commander is only Imperial officer. Special forces, scout troopers, no strike teams. Only stormtroopers for your core, only speeder bikes for your support, and only ATSTs for your heavy. Obviously, yes, the Major Marquand, but he's still an ATST. No unique upgrades allowed at all. It's pretty wild. And then, of course, we have some of the special rules that we already talked about before. Vehicles are going to gain Scout 2. Again, like I said, you can run, like I said, you can run up to 3 heavies. You can run up to 3 supports. You can run 1 to 3 cores. You don't have to have that many stormtroopers, which is a little interesting. Kind of going back to this, I'm like, well, they had a lot of stormtroopers there. It was mostly all stormtroopers, so why is it like, why is it like that? I don't know. But I mean, I guess you could run 3 if you want. And 2 to 6 special forces. So now I only have 2 scout trooper units, so which I think is pretty interesting. I only have those 2. So because a lot of times it was strike teams, and when I could always run 3 because I could run like a full unit and then 2 strike teams or something like that. So 2 packs was always enough to get me 3 if I wanted to do that. Now it's not enough anymore, and so because they're forcing you to use the full unit. So like to run, up to 6 too, right? Like you can run 2 to 6 special forces. So I can run 6 sniper squads or 6 saboteurs or the mine, 6 bomb droppers, right? I don't necessarily want to be dropping 6 satchel charges a turn. I don't really like that idea in this battle force. This battle force seems to be like it's all about vehicles. Now, to run something like this, I think you got to run 3 ATSTs and the bare minimums, and then you have a little tiny bit of wiggle room. Like, do you add a commander, or do you just decide to go with Major Marquand for field commander, or do you run a speeder bike? I think you can fit maybe 1 speeder bike in there, but you've got to put probably at least 1 upgrade on each of the vanilla ATSTs if you're going to do that. So you have very, very, very little flexibility in what you're actually going to run. I was even putting some list ideas together where I ran our scout troopers with not even a heavy weapon, like not a saboteur and not a sniper, because they do have 2 black dice if they can get you in range 2. So if they can get close to you, they can actually have some firepower. But yeah, I was just like, let me just go bare minimums here to try to make the triple chicken actually, the Trinity Clucker. But let me know in the comments what you think we should call a triple ATST list. Triple chicken, Trinity Clucker, Cluckinity, or Chicanos Trace Chicanos. I don't know, man. I got to come up with something. There's Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. No, Chicka 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 Boom Boom. I don't know. That's it's a fun thing. And I know there's some folks out there watching that are like, don't call it a chicken walker. It's an ATST or whatever. No, you can call it whatever you want. You can have fun. But yeah, so they have the cards here as well. So you've got you get the print and play document, which is nicer to have it this way. It's easier to read these and print these out than the spread where they're overlapping each other. And then Major Mark 1 here. So interesting Battle Force. I think it would be fun to use, but I also feel like this is a Battle Force you can't take advantage of unless you're willing to go out and buy extra stuff. You know, normal Imperial stuff kind of caps you out at 3 Scout Trooper expansions. And with all the Special Forces options, how many people really decided when they were getting into Legion that they wanted to buy 3 Scout Troopers? Maybe at the very, very beginning, but if you're like a somewhat newer player, or even a mid-level kind of newer player, you probably got into the game when there's like, oh man, we've got like 4 or 5. How many? Like, oh, I'll take Inferno Squad, or I'll take Death Troopers, or you know, like you've got all these different Special Forces options. Like, well, you know, the Scout Troopers, or you know, some people probably have 3 for triple sniper strike teams, and I think that was very common for a while. But like, I mean, are you gonna run 6? You gotta go out and buy 3 more expansions to do that, or another ATST? You know, like that's just weird to me, and I don't think the play is to run that many bikes either, because if you want bikes, I think aren't you just going to go Blizzard Force? I don't know. It's very interesting to me, this Blizzard Force, or I'm sorry, this Tempest Force Battle Force document. It feels like they're really trying to goat me into buying another expansion that I'll probably never use outside of like the one game I try to run, you know, Los Tres Triplets of Chicanos, or the, you know, triple ATST. I just don't know. And the thing is, if your opponent doesn't bring like a heavy impact or ion kind of list, triple ATST could be really oppressive, right? You could just park them in the middle and be like, no, I'm just gonna completely wreck you. You know, please come closer. Oh yeah, come close, swarm me, I dare you. I've got blast. You're not gonna get any cover from any of this stuff. Just seems, and I got armor on all these guys. It's hard enough to take out one ATST if you're not built specifically for anti-armor. If they are built specifically for anti-armor, I mean, like maybe you run like your, you know, a stormtrooper or 2 with, you know, with your astromech to do a little bit of repairs, but it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. Well, it'll be fun though. We'll have some fun playing around with it. I think it could be a fun time. All right, guys, that is going to do it for this video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section, and thank you for continuing to support the channel. Jump in our Discord and share your thoughts there as well. May the Force be with you always and forever, and thunder, 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 Thundercats, ho!